Welcome to the Pixelberry Choices podcast. Today we're going to be talking about chapter 15 of The Unexpected Heiress. And chapter 15 was everything because in chapter 15 it was not just monotonic, but it was, I would say, a multi-dimensional chapter because a lot of things happened here. We deal with a lot of issues that were building up throughout the book. So first of all, we see after the picnic, Vincent was confronted by our main character, and the whole picnic party came there. Rebecca, Vincent's wife, the Marquis of Huntsbury's wife, uh, Rebecca, she heard everything. She heard that, well, the dirty laundry of Vincent, that Vincent had an affair, and Vincent also has children over there. So we will get to expose Vincent more in this chapter on the aftermath of that confrontation. So at first, people won't believe us, and Vincent will try to impose himself on our main character, but our love interest and Francis will have our backs, and then we will have to say the right things. And depending on what kind of evidences we have collected, playing the dimension in the previous chapters, all of those things will come to the surface and will help us take Vince down a peg. And it was super interesting. But I felt bad for Rebecca, and also someone asked how many. Yeah, I think it was the dogger. She asked how many how many children. Vincent, how many children? And Vincent said, "Oh, I think two or three." So that was like Rebecca almost fainted. And like I said, I do feel sad for Rebecca because she also, we have heard like Amelia protested how Vincent treated Rebecca when Amelia was alive. It was sad. It was sad but I hope she gets better, in her life now when Vincent will be in jail, perhaps. And then we confront that how Percy Jennings worked for him before working for Worthington, and how the plan from India, he had access he had access to Worthington, the ambassador's greenhouse, and the special place in that greenhouse, the hidden place. And he knew, because he was also from India, that this plant can kill someone. So as he knew that that particular plant from India can kill someone, he just took it and gifted the perfume that had this plant, that had this poison from the plant, and killed Amelia. And also the letter we show that we got, that Vincent said, "We have taken care of the American problem." Now there we go, mystery solved. And Lady Jama calls the police or whatever it was back then, and they come and arrest Vincent. Vincent was angry, and he says something that gives rise to a sneaking suspicion in me that maybe it's not the end of the mystery. He says, "You don't even know the full story. I did what I had to do to keep my family safe, but I think there is more to Amelia's murder. I think Vincent doesn't really, accept that he killed Amelia." So is there a Nicolay like twist? Like Nicolay is this guy, and there is more to it. We will see. There's still one more chapter to go. After that, Effie tells us how we're feeling. We will say, we feel like something's missing. Mystery is solved, but still there's something missing. We feel like that, though the mystery is solved. And then we tell her that our main character thinks, Amelia's memory, or Amelia, will be missing from our life after the mystery is solved, because the whole search for Amelia's murder, the whole murder mystery kept Amelia alive, or kept Amelia in the context, but now she's going to miss her dearly. Then we'll get a diamond scene. We'll get to see when Amelia played with a game, an American game called Icebreaker. Amelia played that game with Rebecca and two other ladies, her Aunt Maudie and another woman. So Effie will tell the story, and we'll also see how kind Amelia was, how tough Rebecca's life was back then. She was only viewed as someone to just breed, and when she couldn't give birth to some child, and because they used to sleep in separate rooms, Vincent and Rebecca, because definitely they had issues between them, and maybe had to do something. It had something to do with the affair Vincent was having back in India. So that was really awesome. And also the watch we won in the poker game that had the inscription to father. We bring that up, and Vincent says, "Yeah, that's from my son here in England." Then we say, "Well, to father was scribbled in Hindi, so or in Devanagari, which is definitely an Indian language, and I didn't think that's majorly taught in England." So that was he didn't have anywhere to go. We confronted him so well. I mean, I loved seeing his face. I would say I'll do a video comparing Wales and this, but I would say where Wales is more like action type, you know, like more like a Bond movie kind of thing. Here it is more like mind games. It's like Sherlock Holmes. We don't do much fighting and stuff. Yeah, we do some physical activities, sports and stuff, but it's like in terms of how to catch the killer, how to catch or expose people like Jennings or Worthington, we use our mind. So that's something I really liked about this book. And then we also meet up with Francis. We have to call off our wedding, which was a fake wedding to begin with, just a show we put on to like to make Amelia's killer a bit comfortable so that they don't try to cover their tracks thinking we are looking after them. We're going after them, we're looking for them. So it was really interesting. Then when in this scene we'll go to the graveyard where the whole funeral happened in America, but also Francis and the family did something in England, and we go to the graveyard where Amelia is to go to bring flowers for the tombs of the dead people who didn't have anyone. Such an Amelia like thing. So we'll go there. It was a very interesting scene. We will think about our childhood, how we were before we came. Amelia came to England to marry Francis, and you also learn how Amelia wasn't really interesting about the thought of marrying someone strange. But even though that was really strange and Amelia didn't like that Amelia was a rebellious American, how she eventually fell for Francis and how Francis loved Amelia, it would be really hard. And then we say our goodbyes to the tombstone, we come back, and later at the dinner table, we break out the fact to our family. The dogger, the grandma of Francis, he was really not acceptable of the fact that we are going to break the marriage because it was supposed to get them out of this monetary problem. But then the mother of Francis, she says that life is short, and especially after what happened with Amelia, we should be enjoying our lives, and people shouldn't be married off for money because they just don't want. She just doesn't want that happening to our main character and Francis. And then we also see how John is looking, how relieved he's looking in the dinner table. So that was really well done. And you can see who the favorite love interest is here, or who the writers really wanted us to choose. Because the first book where I'm not complaining with a forced love interest, which is John, of course, but all of them, Lady Gemma and Hugh, I think I loved all the love interests here, all the characters we saw. But John, I would say, there's something about him that is really his character. I think the main character and John, they're just made for each other. And then we finally leave the hall, and then we'll get to choose our love interest. We will get to lock our love interest for the whole book. I chose, of course, John in a diamond scene. We'll go to a tower, I believe, where at night we will see this beautiful scene. I have it on the thumbnail and the background, and we'll just sit there. We'll share stories about John. And then there was a sentence that John would like to make a family now, and maybe Francis will look after some of the charity work that Amelia did, and maybe it's time for Francis to sort of travel the world and go out for adventure, what John did before. It was really contrasting. When I'm happy for John, but it's really sad, my heart does break for Francis. And the sentence how it was said, Francis is just, because his love is dead. It's a bit dark there, but I enjoyed the little intimate moment with John, the main character, and then we're gonna see, we go to the stable and we see Claudio has also found a love, in a loved one, another mare, I believe. I think Claudio is I don't know, like if Claudio is a female horse or male horse, but Claudio has found, Claudio's love match, so that's really good. And then we're in the halls talking with Effie, and then someone announces the arrival of her stepmom and our little brother, half brother, and our stepmom isn't really happy that the marriage is being called off. So there's some drama. The last chapter is probably going to about the marriage, but knowing choices, I would say Vincent is probably not the killer, or not at least the main killer, or there's more to the story. We're probably going to see our marriage unfolding, our love life, but also there's going to be a part, that there's going to be a mystery there. What if our stepmom is the killer? I mean, I have a sneaking suspicion. I know. What if, like, she came just in the last chapter? What if she is the killer? Is that possible? Maybe she didn't like Amelia or something. Is that possible? I don't know. That's just my theory. I just have, like, her face, like she was angry and she said the wedding can't be called off. And that seemed so serious. And I think, like, something about her seemed really ominous to me. I mean, I might be wrong, but what if she is the killer? I mean, this is going to be interesting. Last chapter. Ooh, I can't wait. So, a lot of things are going to happen. Remember, for the vanity mirror, you collected Amelia's memories, like her mirror and other things, that parts of other things that Amelia used. We collected them and we completed the vanity mirror set. So, I think it was vanity mirror or vanity something. I think vanity mirror. But anyway, in either case, so if you completed if you took all the pieces, and by taking all the pieces, if you completed the vanity mirror, then we will probably see a special scene at the end of this book. The murder mystery, I think there's more to it, and I think because Vincent doesn't completely agree to killing Amelia, and then our love life will come to a conclusion. And we have to actually call off our marriage because our mother seems to be in the way. A lot of things will happen in the next chapter. Let me know in the comments. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, peace out.